Freemasonry. Just the name itself conjures up all these images, right? Secret societies, ancient rituals. But what if the real philosophy behind it all is something way more personal? So today, we're going to dig into that very idea, looking at it through the work of the amazing esoteric scholar Manly P. Hall. You know, we're all drawn to the idea of a good secret, aren't we? But Hall throws this amazing idea out there. What if Freemasonry's biggest secret isn't some password or a special handshake? What if it's actually a practical blueprint for building a better you, and it's been sitting right out in the open this whole time? And this quote right here, this is the heart of it. For Hall, Masonic philosophy wasn't some strict set of rules you had to follow. Not at all. It was more like a toolbox. It's just filled with all these symbols and ideas, and you're invited to pick them up, take a look, and see how they can help you build your own life. Okay, so to really get what he's talking about, we have to go back. I mean, way back. All the way back to where these symbols even came from. The noisy, bustling workshops of the great craft guilds in medieval Europe.
Just think about that for a second. The entire philosophy is one giant metaphor for building. Every single core idea is rooted in the physical act of creation. You know, the feel of the tools in your hand, the dignity of honest, hard work, the pride an artisan feels creating something that's going to last for ages.
And this is where Hall saw a huge difference between then and now. For those ancient guilds, your work, well, it was your worship. You weren't just slapping stones together, you were building a cathedral, something with a soul. He contrasts that with so much of the modern world, where for a lot of people, a job is, well, it's just a job. It's a way to get a paycheck, and that deeper sense of purpose has been kind of stripped away.
Hall even points to this incredible ancient saying that just captures the idea perfectly. For these early organizations, for these builders, honest work wasn't just a task you had to get through. No, it was like a purification. It was a sacred act that shaped both the world around them and, more importantly, their own character.
All right, so if your craft was the sacred path, then how did you actually, walk it? How did you grow? Well, that's where this idea of degrees comes in. It was a structured journey of personal development. And see, this system wasn't about what you read in a book. It was all about getting your hands dirty. You started out as an apprentice, learning by doing, year after year. Eventually, you had to prove yourself, not just with your skill with a chisel, but with your character. Only then, when you proved you were worthy, were you recognized as a master. And with that title came a brand new responsibility, to teach the next generation. And this part is absolutely crucial. There was no buying your way up the ladder. You couldn't fake it till you made it. Your worth was measured by two things, the quality of your work and the integrity of your word. Everything, and I mean everything, had to be earned.
But then, something really fascinating started to happen. The guilds began to change, and the whole idea of what it means to be a builder started to expand, from shaping stone to shaping minds.
This is the moment of the great shift. On one side, you have operative masonry. That's the original stuff, the hands-on work of actual stonemasons. But over time, it evolved into what's called speculative masonry, where the tools of the builder became symbols for a completely different kind of project, building a better self and a better society.
And hey, this wasn't just some abstract theory. We're talking about a real historical shift, right around the 17th century. The doors of these guilds started opening up, and they began welcoming people who'd probably never picked up a chisel in their lives. We're talking scholars, thinkers, and artists. And boom, just like that, the whole definition of what it means to be a builder was transformed. A scientist discovering a new law of nature, that's a builder. An artist creating a masterpiece, a builder. A philosopher refining an idea that could shape society for generations? Yep, they were all seen as craftsmen, each contributing to the great work of human progress. So all of this brings us to the big question, right? The one Hall says is the whole point of the entire philosophy. What is this grand project that all these builders, both the old school stonemasons and the new school thinkers, are working towards?
For the original guilds, the masterpiece was something you could actually see and touch. It was a magnificent cathedral, a testament in stone that could inspire awe for centuries.
But for today's speculative mason, the great work is internal. The project is you. It's all about building a temple of noble character inside yourself. And the idea is that by doing that, you help build a more just and compassionate world. I mean, Hall himself put it perfectly. He said the focus has shifted from physical architecture to moral architecture.
The new tools aren't the hammer and the chisel anymore, they're the timeless principles of integrity, truth, and service to others.
So what's the end game? What's the ultimate cathedral they're trying to build with all this moral architecture? It's something you can't see, but you can definitely feel. A universal society, an invisible house of brotherhood, founded not on blocks of stone, but on the solid bedrock of good character and mutual respect.
And that leaves us with a really powerful question for our own lives, doesn't it? In a world where our work can sometimes feel a little disconnected, maybe even meaningless, what can we learn from this ancient philosophy of the builder? How can we approach whatever it is we do, our jobs, our relationships, our passions, with the integrity and the purpose of a master craftsman, building something that truly, truly matters? It's definitely something we're thinking about.